trucks. That is somebody who lives in the neighborhood, and you know, this is this is what you would call NASCAR country. Uh, Indeed. So I don't know if you guys even caught that. I had my AirPods out, but I've been wondering who's been burning rubber, and because there's black marks all down in the river bottom, and now I know who it is, and people just have grown up building race cars, and it goes back to the days when people used to run moonshine, and that's what started NASCAR. So there's your uh, history lesson from somebody who was born in Toronto, Canada. But for what good it is, I can tell you that that's how NASCAR started. Man, what a car! Did you hear that thing take off? I don't really know if you heard it or not because my AirPods were in my pocket. All right, this is a video for David in Kentucky. And David is a long distance customer, and he is interested in this Daihatsu Hijet. And this is a 1997 Daihatsu Hijet 5-speed, four-wheel drive, and it's got 20,505 original miles, which is really nice. And so um, we're going to go ahead and do a very careful job videoing this vehicle because he is a long distance customer. And for our long distance customers, such as David, we go through a great deal of effort to show every scratch, every ding, every spot where a pebble peck or spot of rust or whatever under the wheel wells, under the bed. And that way, David can watch that and take it on a test drive and come up the hill and put it in an adverse set of circumstances. I don't know if this is another person wanting to get on it. No, this is just a regular passerby. And, but boy, that car was something. And I don't even know what that was. It was like an old Ford. Fairlane, maybe? Fairmont? But anyway, so then we take it on a test drive, put it in an adverse set of circumstances, and see how it does going up a hill in fifth gear at a slow speed. And if it does well doing that, then you know that the engine has good horsepower and good compression. So, all right, let's go ahead. And I think this truck was $7,400, if I remember correctly. But Stephanie whites out the price, and I'm holding it up to the light to see if I can see through the whiteout. And I think it says 7,400. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get started. So what I like to do is go around the perimeter of the windshield. Now here we have where it had a pebble peck, where a rock probably chipped the paint, and they did touch it up there on the roof. And we have a dent right there. We have a few, like it looks like it got dented there also, but the paint did not get chipped. Now, coming down, we have a little oxidization right there. And that is it. Now, we're going to look across the front of the truck, and we have a ding there that's been touched up, a pebble peck or a scratch there that's been touched up, and a dent there. And no, I don't think that is a ding there, but a dent there. Um, Now let's look across the other way. We have a scratch there, and a scratch there, little pebble peck right there. And that's it. This is a pine needle. I think I pointed out that thing. Okay, nice thing about Daihatsus is when your headlight goes bad, that's a glass headlight, so you can go to the auto parts store and get a new one, and it's always clear, which is nice. Okay, we're going to come down the door pillar and look at the door. That's very nice. In fact, the only thing this door has on it is one tiny scratch. No dings, no dents. This is mud here from the dirt road. That's all that is. The tire is good. It's actually very good in terms of the tread. Now, this is the inside of the wheel housing. The bedside is quite scratched up. It has a scratch there, there, and then scratches along here, and a ding there, and a scratch there, or a scrape there. So none of these are dented, but they're scratched. The paint is scratched off. That's mud there. The frame is really pretty remarkable. Very nice. Just a little seam rust there and there where the welding occurred. You can see the seam sealer here looks really good. That's part of the factory assembly process. And here is the bed, the underside of the bed. Really good. Okay, and here's the rear tire on the driver's side. Now let's look at the inside of the bed. So the inside of the bed looks really good there. The engine cover is excellent, but you can see here where the seam, where the bottom of the bedside panel is folded up to meet the side and welded, there's a little rust right there. Again, right there also, and right here. Let's go ahead and let's let the sides down so we can look underneath to see what it looks like. Since we see a little bit of oxidization there. Now these bedside panels can be tightened, and I will tighten these. That one's tight, but the other three were not, or the other four were not. Okay, so let's look for rust. This all looks very good. That is not anything like cancer. We do have surface rust there. Now we're looking at the bedside panel. I'm sorry, the tailgate. The tailgate. We do have a little rust through right there. That's surface rust there. Now we're looking at the driver's bedside panel. That is surface rust. That's all surface rust there. None of that is rust through. So this bedside panel, where you can't see, is in very good shape. So now I'm going to close this back up. Again, that should be tightened, and I can do that. Very easy to do. And I'll get all this straightened out. All right, so now let's look under here. Oh, let's look at the bedside panel. Okay, actually, no, let's look at the tailgate. So here we have a scratch here, a little ding, scrape there. That's paint chip there. And you can see that they painted the tailgate, and that's a ding there, but not to conceal damage like rust. It's not to conceal rust. It was probably because of the scratches and stuff. This was not painted. They only painted the tailgate. So we have a scratch there, scratch there, scratch there, scratch there, and the metal is not impressed. It's just a paint scratch, scratch, and a scratch, and the metal's not impressed there. That's a scrape, but it's not. The metal's not dented. Okay, let's look at the post here. The back of the cab is scratched up, and it's got a ding there, and a ding there. Okay, so they used it, but it's not abused. All right, now we're going to come down the door post and look at the door. And we have one dent. That's what I call a soccer ball dent. So it's like you took a soccer ball and just knocked it. That's actually not part of the door. The door is ding-free, dent-free, ding-free, but we do have that soccer ball dent right there. Now, this is the bottom of the bed and where the engine is on the passenger side. New battery. That means the battery was bad. And this is how you actually use the lawnmower battery. It's a good connection and it works fine. That'll work all winter long. They're $29 at Walmart. Ugh. Okay, good tire. And here is the inner wheel housing on the passenger side. Looks very nice under there. Okay, now the door panel. Good. Under the floor mat here. That looks good. This is... Oh, this has a flare. How interesting. Flares just don't happen anymore. They take them out for customs, but for whatever reason, this flare survived importation. So that'll be there. If you end up buying this truck, David, it'll come with a flare. And this looks really, really good back here. Let's go ahead and lift the seat. Something I don't normally do. That's your windshield washer fluid, your radiator overflow. That is Toyota red. And the engine. And look how far back the engine is on the Daihatsu. It is behind the seats. Okay. Trying to keep the video moving here. I don't want to get too lengthy. But I want to be complete at the same time. The door panel looks good. This looks really nice. No rust. Beautiful. Really pretty under there. Let's lift this seat up. Nice. That's your dipstick right there. Your radiator cap, your jack, and your VIN number. All right, so now let's take this for a drive. Look at this seat there. That seat is beautiful. No tears. That's the incredible thing. Same with that seat. Absolutely beautiful. So the whole interior of this truck looks really nice. All right, let's go for a ride here. Do a U-turn. Look at the U-turn of a Daihatsu. It is uncanny how tight the Daihatsus are. They definitely turn the tightest turn radius of any mini truck. So you could say that perhaps that's Toyota-esque, since Toyota owns Daihatsu. All right, so now we're gonna get this up to speed we're going to go down this steep hill, and we are going to see what it feels like at 60 miles per hour. All right, so now once we get around this curve, we're going to get up there and see how it feels. All right, here we go. So that's 60 miles per hour, and it feels great. It just feels great. Now I'm going to hit the brakes. You can see this guy was laying rubber. I think he is the one that's been doing all this, because I never knew who was doing it. But unless there's others out there doing this. But I don't know. All right. So now we're in fourth gear, and we're beginning to climb this hill. Now we're in fifth gear. And we're now going up this hill where it's steep. But it's going to get steeper, and we have to slow way, way down because there's a 90-degree curve to the right. And then we're going to leave it in fifth gear and see what the truck does. That is a brutal, brutal situation because look how slow we're going. We're slowing all the way down, guys, to 30 kilometers per hour. So now let's see what this does. 30 kilometers per hour is 19 miles per hour, guys. And remember, we're in fifth gear, going up a steep hill. And you see what's happening? The truck is actually accelerating. Fifth gear, going up a steep hill, 18 miles per hour. Now we're all the way up to 45 kilometers per hour, or almost, 45 kilometers per hour. And that is fantastic because that tells you that the engine is extremely healthy. So we got up to what, 50, 55 or something? So guys, that is a successful test run. We can say that this truck has done extremely well, and it looks nice too. It's got a few dings and bruises on it, some scrapes, but for the purposes, David, if this will fit what you need it to do, let us know, and then we'll be happy to sell the truck to you. And just call us at 336-777-9957, and we can also be emailed at sales@mayberryminitrucks.com, and our website is mayberryminitrucks.com. Now, this truck has been serviced with full synthetic oil, 5W30 full synthetic, new air filter, new oil filter, and we check the front differential, the rear differential fluid, the transfer case fluid, the transmission fluid. We check the brake fluid. We check the antifreeze, the coolant. We check the clutch to make sure it's good. If it's not, we replace it. We make sure the alternator is charging. If it's not, we rebuild it. We make sure that it runs, that it has good power. If not, we get it dialed in. We make sure that it idles properly when it reaches normal operating temperature, and if not, we address that. So we run a tight ship. We don't play any games. This truck, I think, was $7,400. For some reason, the prices are $7,400 for a 20,000-mile four-wheel drive Daihatsu truck. So we really, we want to make a profit. We just want to make a fair profit. And the delivery charge is designed to accommodate the sale. It's not a huge moneymaker, but it is to accommodate the sale of the vehicle because most people don't have a trailer. And also, David, let me get that right, David. Yes, David. Also, David, we don't ask you to pay for the truck until we show up with the truck. And we do that because we're confident in our communication process. And really, people just want to be treated fairly. That's the secret to success, is people just want to be treated fairly. And so we don't charge you for the truck until we show up with the truck, because we've done a really thorough job communicating everything about the truck. And that way there won't be any surprises. We've never had anybody say when we show up with the truck and them not having yet paid for it. We've never had a single person ever say, "Whoa, that's not what I wanted." I did have one guy. He was a prankster. Who was it? Oh, I can't even remember. I show up and he said exactly that. He said, "Whoa, that's not what I had in mind." Oh man. And but anyway, so he was in Maryland. It was like 2 weeks ago, I think. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching our video.